Good afternoon. My name's Chuck McPherson. I'm the chief of the Couchiching First Nation. Today we're presenting you with a video collage of the town of Fort Frances and the neighboring community of Couchiching. The purpose of the video is to show the legislators in Ontario the difference between a municipality and a First Nation. And in this specific instance, we're talking about Couchiching First Nation. You'll note on the video collage we highlighted the William Noden Causeway, which was constructed in the early 1960s. In the summer of 2008, the Honourable Minister Mike Gravel made an announcement relative to the reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Noden Causeway. At that point, in making the announcement, Minister Gravel said, in the early 1960s, no one could have imagined the economic prosperity this bridge would bring to the town of Fort Frances and the Rainy River District. Minister Gravel was absolutely correct. It did bring 50 years of prosperity to the town of Fort Frances and the Rainy River District. Unfortunately, the Couchiching First Nation was left out of that economic prosperity. You will note by viewing this video that the Noden Causeway and Highway 11 runs through the Couchiching First Nation. On a daily basis, thousands of cords of wood are transported to the Abitibi Bowater paper manufacturing mill in the town of Fort Frances. We get to see the economic prosperity. We get to witness the trucks going by. We get to witness the efforts of the bushworkers that cut and saw the logs. We get to witness the people spending money in the town of Fort Frances that manufacture those logs into paper and into craft. Yet, unfortunately, we do not participate in that process whatsoever. Highway 11, the Noden Causeway, has been an economic boom to the district, not to the Couchiching First Nation. The highway right-of-way for Highway 11 is vested in the province of Ontario, which leads me to the reason for this video. Approximately 90 years ago, a two-chain shore allowance was surveyed around Agency 1 Reserve, which neighbors our community of Couchiching. At that point in time, the surveyor of the day was given instructions to survey a two-chain shore allowance around Agency 1. However, he continued to survey around Couchiching. Those instructions were erroneous, but nonetheless, he proceeded to take that action. Subsequently, title for that two-chain was vested in the province. When the Noden Causeway was constructed and a highway right-of-way required, the province of Ontario contacted the federal crown and suggested an exchange of properties, the two-chain shore allowance for the highway right-of-way. In effect, the Couchiching First Nation received its own property for the highway right-of-way, an injustice. We brought this to the attention of Aboriginal Affairs, the Government of Ontario, the federal government. In concert, the federal crown and the provincial crown offered us a total of $500,000 compensation for the highway right-of-way. I viewed that as being an insult to myself, to my council, and to the people of Couchiching. I can cite you a list of at least 12 names of Couchiching band members who were killed on Highway 11 in the last 50 years. I cannot give you 12 names of people who have secured employment in the Fort Frances paper mill in the last 50 years. I can cite 2. For reasons that are not known to me, the Fort Frances paper operation refuses to employ Couchiching First Nation members, and this is not a current situation, it's multi-generational. The neighboring town of International Falls in Minnesota employed approximately 15 to 20 of our band members, and those band members put in 30 years plus as productive employees of Boise, Cascade, and International Falls. Those same individuals could not secure employment in the Fort Frances plant. They had to go out of the country. And it's ironic that in securing employment an income in another country, they were required to pay income tax in Canada, yet their home country would not provide them with employment. A sad commentary. What we're asking for is a degree of justice. $500,000 for a highway right away, like I said, to us is an insult. In viewing the video, I would ask that you take a look at the town of Fort Frances. The province just invested $22 million into a biomass generating plant which will sustain the mill by providing cheap electricity for years to come. The province of Ontario just invested millions of dollars in the restoration of the Northern Causeway. Similarly, other projects. The town of Fort Frances has all the amenities that any municipality would have. A beautiful recreation facility with 2 ice surfaces where they're able to play hockey, high schools, libraries, small business, hospitals. Conversely, at Couchiching, our recreation facility consists of one deteriorated rink. That is an injustice. All we have is land, not much of that, but the land that we do have, we want to be compensated for. Highway 11 runs through Couchiching, has done so for 50 years plus, and we have received nothing for it. We get to be spectators in the economy, we don't get to participate, and that is an injustice. The bureaucracy tries to validate that position, so I appeal to the legislators of Ontario to take a different view. We have to participate in the economy. There has been an injustice done to us, and we ask that you correct it. So I would ask that you take 5 minutes of your time today and view the video, look at the comparisons between the town of Fort Frances and the Couchiching First Nation. See what we see on a daily basis. See that pulp trucks go through our community. See that commercial vehicles go through our community. See that American tourists go through our community on a highway and property that should be that of Couchiching First Nation. I thank you for your time and consideration. Have a good day.